Hey Sagittarius, it's Meg with Padmes, and I am doing your new moon and into the beginning of August Tarotscope. We are doing an energy check for the next couple of weeks here. And this is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and prominent placements in Sag. Calling in our angels and guides with the highest vibrations of love and light. They don't want to talk to anyone else. Sag, here we go. We're going to do the old wise tree spread here and see what you have going on. All right. The first thing that I'm noticing here is this Hierophant as the big picture. And this Hierophant is reversed. So this is some kind of disconnect with the higher self or a need to connect with the higher self. There's a key that needs to be used to unlock some resistance so that it can dislodge, release, and dissolve. Coming from this place of some kind of wishes not being granted, some kind of wishes not being met. And I want to go ahead and start clarifying. I'm going to clarify with this deck. This is a maybe Lenormand. So tell me about these wishes and dreams that maybe came in but did not come in the way you wanted them to come in exactly, or something you were wishing for ended up being something that you ultimately didn't want. There's some kind of disintegration in this. What is this about? There's some kind of, it almost feels like there's a loss of hope or a loss of faith in these wishes coming into fruition. And somehow it's like you're wishing for something. I feel like you're psyching yourself out somehow. That's a strange thing to say, but it's almost like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy if you're believing that your wishes are not going to come true. Something like that. Okay, so let's take a look at the heart of the situation. We've got the Two of Pentacles and the Hermit. So the Two of Pentacles is reversed. So there's like a very huge focus on healthy self-reflection kind of thing. I'm not seeing negative self-speak, but it kind of feels like there's something you're telling yourself that you can't have certain things. And it's like you're psyching yourself out, Sag. So this Hermit, it's healthy self-reflection, but it's also going into yourself. So this is a big focus on going into yourself, going at it alone kind of thing. And I feel like you've shut yourself off from others in a particular way. Happening now in the near future, here's some kind of, it seems like an ending to this, but it's also an ending because you have decided to cut things out that don't serve you, but also kind of like cut the bubble away from yourself that is protecting you. It's like you no longer feel like you need to protect yourself in the same way that you once did. This can be blocking someone, this can be energetically blocking someone, but there's some kind of focus here on self that you no longer feel like you need, perhaps because you cut something out that you didn't need and you no longer need to protect yourself from it because it's not there anymore. But I do want to find out more about this Hierophant reversed. This can also be going out on your own, again, with that theme going on. It can be kind of following your own rules and not following the rules of other people. This is also about not stepping up a relationship or leveling up a relationship. It very well could be ending a relationship or ending something that's not serving you. And this has to do with cycles. So this could have to do with someone that you cycle in and out of relationship with. And it's somebody that you've been doing. This is for whatever reason, right now, the energy is talking about when you do this, to think forward into the future about how this is going to affect the future this time. It feels like something different will happen ending it this time. If this is somebody that you cycle with, if this is somebody that you move kind of in and out with, your advice is talking specifically about relationships coming together. This might be choosing one thing over another in order to create partnership, and something having to do with feeling aloof. Feeling aloof. I feel like somebody is allowing this, or like kind of acting like they don't care. And I feel like this is your advice, Sagittarius. It's like acting like you don't care. Not that you don't care, but just not having a big, huge reaction around this. It's kind of like going about your business, doing what you need to do. This is about meditation. I feel like that's what needs to happen too. The heart of this is talking about focusing on meditation when there's a need for that connection with higher self. Tell me more about that. Yeah, and this is about getting some kind of, talk about healthy self-reflection, but making it a repetitive thing, like making sure that you have a strong connection, a strong meditative practice in some way. You're connecting in with yourself. Why is this so important right now? And this again is talking about cutting things off that don't serve you, harvesting. And here is the actual person. So it's a feminine energy. So whoever is the feminine energy in the relationship or partnership of some kind, this is about cutting someone's energy out of your space. Matter of fact, and I feel like the reason it's matter of fact, I'll say this, like cutting someone off, I'm not seeing like pulling cords and cutting cords and things like that necessarily, but it's like it's just moving someone else out of your space so that you can figure out what your true energy is versus what their true energy is. So it's like cutting someone out, but you can still interact, my dance space, your dance space kind of thing. So it's matter of fact here when choosing one thing over the other. It's like you're choosing self over someone else's energy in your space. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's take a look at what your higher self wants to say. Your higher self is talking about no longer going through some kind of portal that you've been perhaps blindly going through. This is like not manifesting things forward into the future on purpose. And you're like, okay, so that could be part of what this is too. You're like, whatever it is that I have been manifesting or wishing for is kind of, it's not coming into fruition the way I want it to. And it's almost like you're psyching yourself out saying that you're not supposed to have this when it seems like there's just a different way to go about getting what it is that you want. However, your higher self is talking about not manifesting the same things forward into the future. It's almost like manifesting your demise. It's almost like manifesting things that aren't good for you. You're wanting something, but it's not necessarily your highest and your greatest good. Your angels and guides are talking about you being a divine counterpart and stepping into the role of divine counterpart. This is also about ruling your own empire, having complete control over your own life. And very possibly this could have to do with being single, Sagittarius. Not having to, you're talking about commitment and cycles. So you're talking about having some kind of autonomy that feels like it's been kind of sticky. You're kind of like cutting somebody else's energy out of your space, not necessarily cutting cords, but moving energy out of your space that's not yours. And being independent. You are acknowledging that you are a divine counterpart, and there is a cycle, or there is commitment that is at stake here. Let's take a look at this. Release the idea that you have released all of the, they're divine agreements. They're soul contracts. And you're saying that you have resistance to regret. So it's like, I want to release something, yet this is something that cycles through because I can't really let it go the way it's not really truly releasing something. It's just kind of, it ebbs and flows is what it feels like. Okay, tell me more about this. There is a self-healing aspect. It's almost like it's a relief. This feels, I'm not seeing the devil card, which is, you know, for me, it would be oppression and addiction, but this feels like addiction. It feels like releasing something and letting it go, but then wanting it back and it feeling like a relief once it's back. And this does feel like addiction to some kind of love, addiction to this love feeling. Let's take a look at past, present, future. In the past, we're talking about possibly third party connection, but this is also collaboration of some kind. And in present time, it's like there's a lot of information, a lot of messages coming through. Right. And this is from like, it's kind of like a long time coming. Messages coming through after a long time, yet somebody is not receiving these messages. Okay. The Magician is reversed. It's like there's some kind of block on receiving these messages, and there's something about it being long time coming. There's some real healing that's needed to happen here. What is going on? Oh, there's a crossroads here. So here you are standing up for something that you truly believe in, and something having to do with this hermit, this flame, this star, and the fire of the star. This is about really having a lot of conviction for something, and it's you making a decision, being at a crossroads. Am I going to let this go, or am I going to pull it back because I'm addicted to it? What is this addiction about? I want to ask about this addiction. Well, wait a minute. First of all, I want to ask about this cooperation, third party type aspect here. There was some working on things or some teamwork at some point, and it was working. I feel like a third party situation was working for a while and then it wasn't. But tell me more about this addiction. What's going on here? And yeah, the addictive feeling is coming up because there's some kind of space, there's some kind of crevasse, there's some kind of separation. And tell me about this crossroads, this decision, because your advice is talking about choosing one thing over another, also choosing self over this relationship. Tell me more about this choice. Here's the 9 of Wands. This is almost like letting your guard down. Ooh. Huh. And here's the Sun card, pretty much on the bottom of the deck. Letting your guard down. This is about kind of just surrendering. Letting your guard down and surrendering. Having conviction for something. Making a decision to let your guard down and just surrender. It's almost, it's not like, I don't feel like you're giving up. I feel like you're giving into what you truly desire. Let me ask, so why is the ebb and flow a constant thing? Why does it keep going back and forth? And this is talking about, it's like unrequited love, but there's this soulmate past life thing going on. So there's some kind of karmic past life thing that seems incomplete. And so that's why it keeps cycling. What does it need in order to be complete? And here's the High Priestess. There's some kind of secrets and knowledge that need to come to the surface to be revealed in order for this to complete. Tell me what that is. Mhm. It's like I need to see things from a different perspective. I feel like there's such an entanglement when there's both of you in the same bubble. There's such an entanglement that you lose yourself. And then it's like, I need to, this feels like a twin flame type energy. Losing self when you come together, and then you separate and you find that autonomy. And then when you come back together again, it's like there's some space clearing and healing that needs to happen separately so that you can come back together in a different way. Ooh, this is pretty crazy. Here's the Father of Pentacles. And this is talking about, okay, so this is the Emperor before the Emperor. This is talking about your higher, your angels and guides are like, okay, I need to be my own counterpart here. And your higher self is saying, I can't feel solid, stable, and secure when I'm so completely enveloped. What else does your higher self want to say about this connection? And then we'll get some advice for you. Oh, your higher self is talking about somehow losing all of your resources. It's almost like I want to say you're losing your marbles. When you combine your energies, it's just like I feel like a loss of self somehow. I lose myself. That's what I'm hearing. Let's take a look at some advice here, Sagittarius. What do your angels and guides want you to know about this ebbing and flowing, about this cycling, about this relationship? And I do want to say this can be a romantic relationship, but this can also be family dynamics. This can be friends. This can be work-related situation. So what do your angels and guides want you to know? So here's the Nine of Pentacles. This is about autonomy and being action-oriented toward your autonomy, healing from the break or the separation of this, and kind of being on the other side of it. It's like, before you bring this back together, make sure that you're on the other side of healing the grief of letting it go. And this is about you thinking about you and being selfish. Like, you have to think about yourself first in this situation. And there's something about really needing to, I mean, this is what it started with, this Hierophant reverse. The big picture is about needing to connect with your higher self. The Mother of Swords reversed is needing the same thing. She is needing intrinsically to align with her true intention, with her truth. And this can be masculine or feminine. This is just inward. So this is about autonomy. This is about healing to the point where you feel strong enough that you're on the other side of grief and really only thinking about what it is that you need in order to align with your intentions. This is the priority right now, not somebody else's needs or not what somebody else wants. Ooh, Sagittarius, that was a doozy. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment and tell me what's going on with you in your situation. And I will be back soon with another reading for you. Love you, Sagittarius. Talk to you soon.